Fresh trouble brewing at Yahoo. The New York Times reporting that CEO Marissa is expected to announce massive job cuts later this month as part of a larger plan to cut the fat. This is a stunning about-face for Meyer, who was hired in 2012 to jumpstart the struggling company. The Times also points out that more than one-third of the company's workforce has left in the last year. Shares of Yahoo have fallen about 38% over the past year as those acquisitions and expensive hires failed to deliver a turnaround. Morale is so bad at Yahoo, the Times reports that some staff have taken to calling Meyer Evita behind her back. That's a reference to Eva Perón, the former First Lady of Argentina, reviled for her huge ego and thirst for power. And she was also portrayed in the New York Post as Marie Antoinette. You know, she had this party last year it was just a lavish party with essentially circus performers hanging from the rafters, and she was seated on this giant white throne.
You know what that was?
People could come and...
That was an excessive party that she threw. It was a company holiday party. It was a roaring 20s party. Well, you know what? They didn't get the memo because the bubble already burst at Yahoo, right? I mean, look at what's happened since she's taken the helm. $5 billion in revenue, down to $4.5 billion. They have one of the hottest digital properties with page views and what have you. And what's happening? Executives are leaving the companies in droves. I mean, the only reason this company has done well and been propped up is because of Alibaba, right? Jerry Yang actually came in and got that acquisition and stake in Alibaba. And so if you take a step back and look at this, she's got to go. I mean, there's been egg on her face, whether it comes from the spinoff of those Alibaba shares, trying to figure out what to do with core digital. You have activists in there trying to shake things up, but you have VCs, as you know, circling right now.
Listen, it's a fit.
Does she have to go?
Well, she's going, so it doesn't matter whether she does or she doesn't. But I'm not, and again, I'm not trying to defend her, but this company's really been impaired. Okay, they're worth less than the combined entity. You know, you spin out the Alibaba, their media asset is probably in a deficit.
And Japan,
that thing could probably be sold for $1, and then you just take the Alibaba asset out of there.
Right. So, you literally, if you look at the core business, somebody that Yahoo would have to pay somebody to take it, essentially.
So, that's like what happened with Newsweek and some of these other failed media companies. But the problem here is not necessarily her problem. It goes back to that Buffett aphorism that if you have a terrible business, you put a great manager in it, you still have a terrible business.
But she's been a very poor manager. I mean, I think all of the reports that coming out of Yahoo is that the company morale and the people in there was really at an all-time low. I mean, I think the people that used to work at home and people who had flexible working hours have been complaining for months.
$250 million pay package, and what have shareholders got?
Yeah, and the
negative
mistake
earnings,
is
negative share price.
I've seen, who hadn't seen this before? You try and boost morale and you have a big party. And it doesn't. People don't want to party. They want to enjoy going to work every day. Yes, and then the party winds up, you know, it's like somebody throwing an egg on your face.
$7 million to throw that party, right, when the company hasn't been doing well. What could you do with that money? Pour that back into talent that could actually build and drive.
I saw a lot of that after the internet bubble burst, and the companies were, it was called the new austerity. It was $2 million for a party instead of $5 million.
This is just the Yahoo bubble, and it's going to burst for them because executives and core leadership is leaving.
Fundamentally, it's just not a great business, though. I mean, we can pick on her if we want to, but fundamentally, I challenge any of the four of us to get in there, try to run that business more successfully.
Tim Armstrong at AOL did well turning that around.
All right, coming up.